Hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and today I have an update for my Expand Those Pans Project Pan. Expand Those Pans was started by Dora, who is Fuchsia Soul here on YouTube, and there are other people who are participating in this as well. Dora stopped doing it because she is focusing on other projects, but the basic idea is you hit pan in an eyeshadow and then a lot of times you just kind of put it away and try to hit pans on new eyeshadows instead of making sure you're still using those older ones as well. So I roll in 3 eyeshadows at a time usually and use them 10 times usually, then come back and give an update. So last time I'm trying to remember how if I ended up including it in my edits or not. I feel like I added something in, but I had for 2 of the shades, it was from this palette right here, and I don't know what happened, but basically I had marked one of the wrong shades, so I decided to go ahead and keep the shade that I marked wrong, but also to roll in the one that it was supposed to be, along with the other eyeshadow that I had rolled in. So I had 4 eyeshadows I was working on. I have actually only completed 1 because, well, we're gonna get into that. So the one eyeshadow that I did complete, so it's the shade Anomaly from JD Glow. I will say I did not take a weight. I remember thinking I used it the first time. I'm like, oh wait, I was supposed to get a weight on this. Oh wait, huh? And then I was like, well, I'll do it later. But then I kept using it and, it seemed kind of silly to do a weight after I've already been using it different times. So I don't know the weight change, but hopefully there will be a visual change for you. But I did use it the 10 times. I have it on for the last time today. It's a liner for me. And, it's still working really well. Still really enjoy it. It's always actually even prettier on the eyes than just in a swatch. It gets pretty in a swatch, but yeah, there's something about it on the eyes that I really like. So the other 3 eyeshadows were, like I said, from this Tartist Pro Remix palette. So the 3 eyeshadows that I was working on were this one, and this one. So it's basically these grayish neutral shades. And so I used, let's see, this one and this one I used 3 times, and this one I actually used 5 times, so halfway there. And I realized just with using this, it's not great. This has definitely expired, and I could keep using it, but not to give a full spoiler, but there's going to be a video coming up where I went ahead and duped this palette, or at least the shades that I cared about. And since I had dupes in general for the shades, I'm like, why am I going to use the older, not as good anymore quality when I have these newer ones that also need to get used because they're going to expire at some point. So I decided not to force myself. I was going to go ahead and make this be the last hurrah for this palette, but I think it's had its last hurrah, okay? So I did want to try to hit pan in this eyeshadow here, which I did do. So that was kind of a little goal that I had, and I feel like since I managed that, and I have pan now and everything except these 2 mattes, which the mattes are really hard to hit pan in, we're gonna call it good. I've definitely had, I don't even know how many uses on this palette because I've had it in projects, but then even before that I used it a lot because I really did like this palette, and it has special memory because it was from one of my best friends. So we are going to roll in 3 new eyeshadows, and I will say that they might not get updated for a little while because I'm going to be traveling some, and also I'm trying to focus a bit more on some of my other projects now for the rest of this year. So this might be something that's you're not seeing for a little while. So, don't be alarmed. All right. I was trying to look through. So there are a bunch of shades from my Stone Vibes palette, which are on here. There's also just, some random singles. I am potentially decluttering some others, but we'll see. So let me just see what comes up and how I feel. Oh, that one was still on there? Okay. The Pro 8, that was from that palette, so never mind. All right, not that one. I thought I got rid of them all, but I guess not. All right, Snake Eyes I will take because this is a shade that I might want to declutter. So let me go ahead and write it down so I don't forget. Okay. Next shade is from the Dollhouse palette, number 4. And from my Stone Vibes palette, and I felt like that might happen. And I think I am gonna go ahead and let it be a shade that I'm working on because I'm not necessarily trying to use them 10 times in a month. It's normally 4 times has been kind of my goal. So maybe, you know, having to use it 10 times, you know, for this will kind of also help me get moving on it more. And I have been using that shade with my brows some, so, you know, it probably won't be too hard. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do it. Maybe this will keep it easy. Let me go ahead and show you those eyeshadows. All right, so I'm gonna put the pictures up on the screen, but I'm also going to have swatches I'm gonna do right now. So Snake Eyes, it's from ColourPop. I've had it for a long time. It still feels creamy, but I'm gonna see how it shows up on my arm here, which I'm a little dark lighting right now, so I might get you another picture as well. It's okay. We're gonna see. The next eyeshadow is from the Dollhouse palette, and it is this pretty pinky shifty shade. Again, we're gonna see it in better lighting in a moment. And then the final one was again for my Stone Vibes. It's a brown, and it's almost like it makes me think of clay, you know, like that you find in the ground where it's like that reddish brown type of clay color. So let's go ahead and look at it in better lighting. So I think you can see that it looks better than it did when I was first watching in this darker lighting. The Snake Eyes is definitely better than I thought it might be, but we'll see how it is after using it 10 times. I did weigh it this time, so I can tell you when I've done the uses. If I feel like it's not great quality, then it'll just be time to declutter it. It is very old. Like, I think it's at least 6 years old, or older than that, because it was in the summertime, so yeah. And, you know, I'm happy to use the other shades. I've been getting a lot of uses on my Dollhouse palette, and so I put it away, but I'm okay to bring it back out. It works at any time of year, and it really helps kind of finish out some other color stories that I have sometimes. And that's a really easy color to use. And like I said, I've already been working on the Stone Vibes palette as my pan-up palette, so, you know, it's already in my makeup bag. But hopefully this was fun for you to watch, and you can subscribe if you want to have the update for when the next update comes. The update. I guess I want to say so you get messaged kind of thing, you know, that you're informed of the next update. There we go. And that's all I have. So thank you, and until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!